Good evening, everyone. It's Mo by Doug. Welcome to my fireside chat. Why don't you grab yourself a glass of shampoo for this fireside chat? Ugh. Just kidding. I don't have a drink. I just finished my drink. So why am I wearing a coat, you ask? First of all, I was chilly. I'm sitting here in a t-shirt, and I got chilly. So I thought, before I make my movie and sit there for an hour messing with it and getting it posted, put on your jacket, get warm. I got this while I was in Columbus on vacation last week, and it was on clearance at the Aeropostale, Aeropostale, however you say it. It was on clearance, $15 for a winter coat. So I got it. It's corduroy. Look, corduroy. Look. I am juror number 208. Yep, I'm on jury duty this week. So what happened was, yesterday was Monday, so that was the first day I had to report. Had to go downtown, 9 o'clock, be in the courtroom, jury assembly room by 9. So I got there. We had to go through this big, long orientation thing, and there were probably 150 jurors called for the week, and there were about 20 attorneys, one judge, the jury coordinator, and one other person. Oh, clerk. Anyway, we're all in the jury assembly room. We go through this whole thing. Then, this is the weirdest thing I ever saw. I think this part should have been saved for the voir dire process, where you actually get up into the courtroom and the lawyers ask you specific questions. But they made us go around, all like 150 of us, go around, and when they called our juror number and name, we had to stand up, repeat our name, and then say what we did for a living, whether or not we were married, and if we were married, what our spouse did for a living, or if they were disabled or no longer worked or whatever, what they used to do for a living, and then sat down. And then we had to go through this half hour of people going up to the judge, got in a line to ask the judge if they could be excused from jury duty for one reason or the other. Only a very few people were excused, and all of them I think were due to child care. None of them got excused for work, although I heard several people try that. So they're pretty strict on that. I did not try to get out of it. I thought, I'm going to do whatever, you know. I think being on a jury is one of those things, or serving jury duty is one of those things that, unless you simply cannot do it for one reason, I think it's always good to take part in it. It's part of our judicial system. It's a slow-moving machine, but it's still a pretty good system overall. And if there's a way that I can be a part of it and do my part as a citizen, I'm going to. So, finally, first we had criminal and civil suits going on yesterday. So, or cases going on yesterday. So first they called 35 names of jurors who would be going up for jury selection on civil case. And I did not get called for that. Then they called 40 names of people that would be going up for jury selection on a criminal case. Well, I got called for that one. So my name was called. All 40 of us go up to the courtroom. We get up there. There's a defendant sitting at the table with his two attorneys, and then there was the state represented on the plaintiff's side. Two attorneys and one investigator. The judge was a visiting judge from Charleston, South Carolina. Our circuit court judges travel from one district to the other. They have jurisdiction over the entire state, so they can preside over any courtroom in the state that's a circuit court. So the judge starts talking. Before they question any of the 40 of us about qualification for this case, the judge starts reading the charges, and I almost fell out of my chair. This was a case of burglar, what I think was robbery, and I know for sure was murder. So the charges were murder, and it sounded like it was related to a robbery. So you had the defendant sitting over there, And immediately I thought, oh my gosh, if I get impaneled on this jury, then what? What, that, to be on a murder case? Oh my gosh, that seems like a pretty big responsibility. Not that I wouldn't do it, because I would, but it seems to me that would be extremely stressful to go into deliberations on a murder trial. I don't know, that's a lot of responsibility. I don't mind responsibility, but man, that's a lot. So anyway, they went through all these qualification questions, like, if you've ever been involved in a violent, or a victim of a violent crime, please stand up. And then they would want to ask you questions about that. If you have ever been on or involved with victims' rights or advocacy organization of any sort, they wanted to know about that. If you had a relative in law enforcement, they wanted to know the details of that, whether it would influence your decision or your ability to be a juror on this case. And so they went through all of those things, and then they started calling jurors up in front, one by one, for the voir dire process, whereby the clerk calls at random juror numbers and names. The person goes up, and then first the state has the opportunity to strike that juror, and if they accept that juror, then the defense has an opportunity to strike that juror. So they were striking, especially the defense was striking a lot of jurors. I thought it was interesting. By the time 13 jurors were selected, 12 plus one alternate, and by the time we had 13 jurors up there, I hadn't even been called up for the voir dire process, so I didn't get deselected. It never came around to me, so I didn't get on the case. But I thought it was interesting. Here's how this was the makeup of the jury. About 75% white men, 30s to 40s in age. 2 African American women, 1 Asian woman, and 1 white woman. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. So it was maybe 2/3 white men in their 30s and 40s, and then the rest was women. Come to think of it, there were no African American men in that group of 40 jurors that went up for that case. So anyway, I didn't get called, so then last night after 6 o'clock I had to call this hotline that's on the back of my jury tag, and they read off 35 names of people that would need to come in this morning, and I was not on that list, so I didn't have to report for jury duty at all today. Then tonight I called again after 6, called the hotline. I don't have to report in the morning, but I have to call the hotline tomorrow at noon to see if I'm going to be on a case tomorrow. So it's all so I got to go to work today, and I'll get to go tomorrow morning, so that's really good. So that's pretty much it for my jury stuff. I'm getting caught back up at work, caught back up at home. I was really tired once I got back from my trip, and I think it's just from weird sleeping patterns and sleeping on beds and couches that were not familiar to me, and staying up late with Justin and Leah and the boy, and being woken up early by the boys and at their house, and fixing them breakfast, a 7-course breakfast, and just, all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm back into the swing of things. I think I've read all of the comments that have been posted to my videos now, so I'm all caught up on that. I'm still behind in watching videos, and I haven't replied to any comments almost at all. So yeah, okay, that's all I'm going to say for now. We're going to the beach this weekend. I'm so excited for Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. We'll be at the beach, and I'll definitely take video from there. Okay, y'all take care. Peace out. Bye.